Hope at Crafty Hope, and I am here with an actual jewelry tutorial. How about that? This got accidentally recorded when I finished up doing one of my use it up, fill it up cards, and I didn't realize the camera was still rolling, but halfway through or so, I realized that it is on, and I thought, hey, this can turn into jewelry videos. So that's what I have done with it. Now, the first thing I did was pull out a bunch of my 10 discs that I've cut out and picked two that match pretty well and I thought would work great as a pair of earrings. I've actually made these as part of the Allegory Galleries challenge for January. I can't remember which day it was, but the challenge was to use check glass beads. So as you see here, I've pulled out a couple different kinds that I thought went well with that 10, and I'm just you can see some of my design process where I'm putting it up against the 10 and trying to make decisions about what looks best and how I want to stack the beads and hang them and all of that. And I've got some basically the colors that are on that little 10, some green ones, some blue ones, and some pink ones. And I decided the blue ones just are not working for me, and it would be a lot prettier just to stick with two colors since there's so much blue already on that 10, just accent it with the pink and the green. So I hammered down one of those because it was part of the upper portion of the 10 where the ridges were. So I hammered that down flat to get a little more consistent. And then I start filing. And somewhere right in here is about where I realized that I was filming. And I stopped the camera and then started it again because I was like, no, I'm going to record this. Y'all get to see it. So I'm finishing up some of the 10 by, there's a little bit of a flaw in the punch, so I cut that off and then I start filing. Now I like using these big sanding blocks. They're less fiddly to me than actual little pieces of sandpaper, especially when you're working with the flat 10. I don't, it gives you something bulkier to handle. So I get those all filed down, soft and smooth, as you see here, and I use a couple different grits of sandpaper and then some seal wool. And from there, I'm going to take my hole punch. It's a metal punch. It's a 1.8 millimeter, and I just punch holes in the top and the bottom, making sure I catch the little metal pieces that come out because I just don't want those all over my craft room. So once those holes are punched, I go and grab some head pins and eye pins. And the first thing I'm going to do is use the head pins and put six of the pink beads on those. And I'm working in batches and putting the beads on and doing a right angle turn right at the top of it, and I'm doing all my turns and then all of my clipping. Now this helps me keep consistent lengths to cut off, as well as I just have one tool in my hand, so I'm not switching between tools on and off. So I go and grab some oval jump rings. Now I like the oval jump rings with the 10. It makes it the slits in the side of them help ensure that those don't turn and slide right off of that thin 10. So once I get my jump ring out, I go ahead and make a simple loop at the top of those little pink beads, and then I'm going to just slide 3 of those beads onto those oval jump rings and slide it onto the 10 and close the jump ring. So I'm doing that at the bottom of each of these 10 discs, and then for the top I'm going to take my eye pins and string on a stack that's just one of the green beads and one of the pink beads and make a wrapped loop. And then I'll open up the bottom of those those eye pins, and slide them straight onto the 10 and close that up and do that for both of those. And once that's done, I'm just going to add an ear wire, and I'm just going to open the bottom of that ear wire and slide on that whole earring. And that's it. I've got 2 beautifully made little earrings for the challenge. And they're super simple. If you have any questions at all about my process or anything, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and thanks so much for coming by. Bye.